Okay, let's talk about now how to make sure that when you practice, you're doing random practice. The easiest way to make sure you're doing random practice is to implement a process, because a process is random. Now let me explain what I mean. Okay, let's say I'm going to hit a typical golf shot, okay? And remember, it's not what I do at a driving range that matters. It's what I do when I play that matters. So imagine, let's say I've got a 7-iron here. Let's say the first thing I do is I walk up to my ball and I look at my target. Okay, so I look at my target, and even before I grab the 7-iron, I'm going to look to try and figure out, okay, how far do I want to hit it? And then I want to see what kind of shot I want to hit. Based on that information, and where I want to hit it, right? Based on that information, I'm going to select my club. And let's say I've got a 7-iron shot. That's what I'm thinking. And I'm going to try and hit a little draw. So I pick my target, I pick my shot shape, I pick my club. I do that first. That's going to be random for every shot, but it's in the process. Now, once I do that, for me, I like to do a little, what I call a preload, just kind of a little warm-up, just to get my brain taking a snapshot of what I'm trying to work on or what it should feel like to hit this draw that I'm going to try and hit. Once it feels comfortable, I come back again. I make sure I've got the shot in my mind, hold that shot in my mind. I come in, I line up to my target, and from here, I pull the trigger and I execute. I hit the ball. Now what I do is I watch the ball go. Now, every player does this. They're going to evaluate. They're going to look at it, and they're going to say, was that good or bad? Let's go ahead and talk about, hey, was that good or bad? If it was bad, I want you to go, man, it didn't draw as much as I thought. So now the question is why? I'm going to say, well, I feel like I didn't release it as good enough. That might be my air detection. Once you have your air detection, before you move on, go ahead and imprint the fix. So I kind of imprint what the real feel should have felt like, and if I like it, okay, now I put myself a good imprint in my brain. Now think about this. If that's my process, a couple things in my process. First of all, I had a preload where I kind of, great sports psychologist, mental coach, Lanny Basham taught me this, that, hey, if you put a preload in there, that's perfect. You hit a ball, and then you have an imprint after, at least I know I got 2 good swings for every potential 1 swing. If I hit the real swing good, that's 3 good swings every time I run a process. But even if I hit the full swing, the real shot, bad, I still had 2 good practice swings. The 2 will sooner or later outweigh the bad, and we'll just keep accumulating good swings. The bottom line is, if that's the process I'm going to go with when I hit a ball, when I play golf, what should I practice at the driving range? Well, I should practice that, because that's what I'm going to do when I play golf. I'm not going to just sit here and grab one ball and do block practice. That's not what I do when I play. I run a process. So after every shot, what I tell my players to do is put the club back in the bag, drop another ball down, pick another target. So now I'm looking at a target, and I go, okay, I'm going to hit to that flag over there. And that flag, let's say, is 125 yards. And I decide I want to hit a little fade. I go, okay, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and grab my pitching wedge and make sure I see that shot still. I like it. Okay, now I'm going to come over here. I'm going to do my preload. I'm going to practice my little fade move. Okay, if I feel comfortable with that, come back, pick my spot to line, see my shot, hold my shot. I'm going to come in, step in. I'm going to implement, hit my shot, watch, air detect. If it was good, then I'm just going to imprint that good feeling again. If it wasn't, I'll try and fix it. And that's one process. Put the club back in the bag. And what you'd want to tell your players is, it's not how many balls you can hit. It's how many processes can you run. And think about this. If you're in the heat of battle and you're out there playing in a tournament and it's the 18th hole and you've got to make a par and you're freaking out, what you say to yourself is, stop freaking out. Just do the process. I've done it 1,000 times. That's the best opportunity I have to succeed, is do the process. The good news is, the process is random. You can hit 7-irons, by the way. If I say, let's do 50 7-irons in a row. If you run 50 7-iron processes in a row, in other words, I come back, okay, I'm going to hit to that flag, I'm going to hit a draw, I do my preload, I hit, I do my imprint, keep my 7-iron. Okay, now I'm going to hit to that flag, I'm going to hit a fade. That's still random, and you're running your process, because every process is random. You can use the same club as long as you run your process.